I used to not care about my looks and think the only thing that would get me friends was my interests. So I was interested in basketball, and I would watch a lot of basketball games, a lot of NBA games. And I would go and talk about it at school, and I thought that people would love to talk to me, they would flock to me. But instead, I found that, I wasn't very popular at all. Many people kind of sidelined me, many people didn't really want to speak to me. And then instead, they would talk to other people who, even if they didn't even have as much of a knowledge of NBA or as much of a knowledge of basketball as I did, they would want to speak to them. I thought that it didn't matter what I did, what I got interested in. For all my life, I would just be the person that's sidelined, the person that's always an introvert, that's always the guy that people don't want to speak to. And it's only when I realized that you could change your looks, and I started changing my looks, that I found how much looks do matter, right? Personality is very important, but looks amplify your personality. They really do, and it's not worth it to pretend like they don't exist. So today I'm going to give you a couple tips to improve your first impression, to improve the way that people first perceive you. First, I'm going to talk about the prerequisites that you have before you go and speak to anybody. And second, I'm going to talk about the things that you should do when you first meet some people. Now, with these prerequisites, I've broken them down into 5 parts. The first is your face, the second is your hair, the third is your style, the fourth is your smell, and then the fifth is your physique. So with your face, I think the best thing that you can do is to start mewing. And if you don't know what that is already by now, what that really means is to stick your tongue to the top of your mouth and keep it there all the time. Every single day, all the time when you're not speaking, your tongue should be at the top of your mouth, at the roof of your mouth. What this is gonna do is basically move your whole jaw forward, your maxilla, the bone that comes right through here. It's gonna make it move forward, and it gives a really good appearance on your face. And it's one of the best ways that you can actually change your face shape. The next thing that I would recommend with your face is to start a skincare routine. And it doesn't have to be all complicated. Basically, the only 3 things that you need are a cleanser, a moisturizer, and a sunscreen. That's it. Okay, have a cleanser, preferably either salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide. And then for your moisturizer, make sure that it doesn't clog your pores. Make sure that it just hydrates your skin. And then for your sunscreen, again, make sure that it doesn't clog your pores and it has at least SPF 30. Do those 3 things and your skin should get really, really good. Now the next part is your hair. Now something that I always tell people is to just start experimenting with your hair. You don't know what it's gonna look like if you haven't tried a new style yet. So just go ahead and grow it long, or you cut it short, whichever style you haven't tried yet, just try it, right? You never know. The second thing is to really know your hair type. So there's always those charts that you can do, but basically you wanna know if your hair is straight, like very fine, if it's wavy, or if it's curly. And based on that, you will find different products. For curly hair, most of the time you want something that's gonna hydrate it a lot. Like that's the most important thing, and it's gonna have a lot of hold preferably, and it's just really gonna condition the hair. With wavy hair, you need less conditioner, a little bit more hold, and then with just straight hair, you want more texture in there. So have something that's like a texturizer product like sea salt or something like that. But other than that, just make sure that your facial hair is like trimmed, make sure it's actually groomed, and you know what you're doing about it. And for your eyebrows, make sure that they're not just like all over the place. Again, that they're trimmed and you know what's going on there. Now the third part of the prerequisites is your style. And style just basically means the kind of clothes that you wear, how you present yourself. So, I can't really talk too much about this. I don't have that good of a style. But basically, what I would really recommend to people is just find neutral colors that work inside your wardrobe. Don't look for big brands. Don't look for something that's across your chest that says Adidas. Like, don't do that stuff. I'm actually not a good example today because I have a Under Armour thing on my shirt. But most of the time, you want to wear more neutral colors and focus not on the brand, but rather on the texture, on the feeling of that piece of cloth. Instead of worrying about the brands too much, think about the fit of the clothes. Think about the fit and more the material that it's made of. Also think about how you can layer it. You want more texturized pieces maybe on the outside and maybe have a less texturized piece on the inside. Maybe it's just a plain white shirt and you have a texturized overcoat on top of that. Or you can just switch it around, just make sure that there are different layers in every outfit that you put together. The fourth part of this is your smell. So with this, I'd really say just make sure you're taking showers, make sure that you don't smell, make sure you're wearing deodorant and you don't have too much body odor, right? You want to have maybe a scent or a fragrance that you like and just put it on yourself before you go out. You don't need 5 fragrances, you just need one. That's just your signature thing, right? Just make sure you wear deodorant. That's really the basic thing. The fifth part about this is the thing that I can speak the most about because it's what I've changed the most in my life, and that's my physique. The physique is so important because, it doesn't matter how far away someone is. The moment they see you, they can tell if you are dominant, if you are attractive by the shape of your physique. Right? This is the biggest thing inside your whole appearance that you can change. So with your physique, I have a couple tips for you to help you out. The first thing is to go for intensity and not time. There are a lot of people that spend just 3 hours in the gym, but it doesn't matter. You can get better results by doing a 30-minute workout as long as it's intense and you're really working your muscles hard. Okay, the next thing is kind of paired with this. Go to failure for every single set. I do this all the time. There's never a time where I'm not going to failure. Always going to failure on every single set. That way I get maximum intensity in my muscles. The third thing is that diet is king. Nutrition is king. You have to be on your diet. A lot of people are going to the gym. They just say, I can eat whatever I want. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. It pays so much to have a diet plan that you're actually on, to have an idea of how you're eating and making sure that you track that nutrition every single day. If you're looking for something like that, a nutrition plan, a meal plan where I work with you and you get all the exercises, exactly the type of exercise that you need, and it's not even just like at the gym, it's a type of working out that you can do from home. And I call this gymnastic ring training. If you're interested in that, working with me, having me coach you, and basically guaranteeing that you build a great physique, check out the first link in the description. So that was all with the prerequisites. The next thing is how you present yourself in that first impression. And what I like to tell myself is the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're holding eye contact. Don't lose eye contact with the people that you see. Don't dash away your eyes because you're afraid. Hold eye contact. Right? The next thing that you want to do is to speak first. You never want to be the person who's just standing there in the awkward silence and then the other person breaks it and you're like, oh, thankfully I didn't have to break it. Don't be that person. Break that silence. Break the silence for other people because they will appreciate you for breaking the awkward silence. It's going to be awkward. I'm not going to pretend like it's not awkward. It's still going to be awkward, but it will be 100% worth it. The next thing is to have relaxed body posture. And you really just want to visualize that you're not curling up. You're not getting smaller. You're not trying to defend yourself. You're trying to be big. You're trying to realize that you're strong. There's no need to be afraid. Be relaxed. Sit up. Be able to spread your legs. Don't feel like you can't do that. Be calm in the moment. The final thing is to have the mindset that it's all a game. It's not something that you're taking personal. It's not something that you're afraid of getting rejected. You're not afraid of anything. It's all a game of seeing how much you can impress people, how much you can influence people, how much you can charm people. It's really just a game. And all of these tips, I can give you all these tips, but it really won't matter unless you have self-confidence, because it's only with self-confidence that you're going to be able to go ahead and actually put these into practice. And as I said before, the way to genuinely increase your confidence like nothing else is to build a physique that you're proud of. So if you're interested in doing that from home, needing absolutely nothing but 2 pieces of equipment, check out the link below and I'll help you there. With that, I hope that you got something from this video and I hope that you go out and conquer.